Okey lah, ada.
This is my deputy, Roman, and Ketua Pemuda, Ketua Wanita, Timbalan Wanita, Night President, Night Chairman, KK Cabang, AJK. Yeah. Today, our courtesy call to the Pengarah of SPR, I would say, is very informative, and we have a very cordial and friendly exchange of information. We have asked him several questions that are very pertinent to the election, especially in view of the coming election. I would like to, in here, point out the questions and answers that he gave us. Number one is, I asked him what is the status of the present Sabah, the Sabah gazetted up to today, the gazetted pendaftaran or pemilik, the registered voters. He said that the first quarter of the Sabah registered voters, which is 第一届的选民就是在3月4号2011年 on the 4th of March 2011, the total registration that have been gazetted of the voters. The second quarter was started in April, May, June 2011, and it will close at the end of June, and that was the second quarter of the registration of the new voters. Now, after it's closed, probably it will be gazetted in August. Now, this is very important information because should the election be held today or at the end of the year, then the new gazetted voters will be used. Yeah, but if before that, then they will use the first quarter. Now, here at this point, I call on the new voters or voters, your name has been changed or transferred to somewhere else. Please check with the SPR. You can go on the net to find out and to change it back to where you belong. You are supposed to vote. Those that have not been not registered as new voters, please quickly go and do it because it is your duty and it's your right under the Malaysia Constitution. You are duty bound to do it. You want to have any change, this is where the time for you. You don't just sit there as an armed general and say we want change, we want change, and at the same time you don't register as voters. Okay. I raised the question of, in my constituency, Api alone, I have 500 and more of voters that are 115 years and above. I have 500 more. In fact, I think I gave him a copy to photocopy. And some of them as well as born in the year of 1845. So they are 115 years old and above, 500 of them, and this is, to me, is ridiculous. And I checked with Pengarah, and he said the job of the SPR is that the JPN pendaftaran for death and life, they will have to give them the information, the list, how many people died. And only based on that, then they delete the names from the voting for the registration, the Pokok registration. Now, he said there is a link, and based on the link, they can see how many have passed away and how many not. And these 500 people apparently have not passed away because there is no record of them passing away or issuance of death certificate from the JPN. Now, I call on the next of kin, the family of these people, to please quickly go to the JPN and inform them if your relative have passed away, so that proper action can be taken, their names can be taken away, so that they will not be listed as voters when they are not, still not around. I have this Kampung Ayer. Last time I have 5 polling center. Kampung Ayer, Jalan Istana, Jalan Kebajikan, Sunny Garden, and Jalan Bandara. Now for Kampung Ayer, their place of undi was in Sekolah Kebangsaan Sembulan. YB Imochai apply to the SPR to change the tempat mengundi in the Sekolah Kebangsaan Sempulan to SK 中华。他申请把这个 Sekolah Kebangsaan Sempulan 的投票中心改去中华小县。When in 中华小县 itself, it is already a polling center for Jalan Bandaran. In other words, the next election, there will be 2 tempat mengundi in 中华小县 itself. So instead of 5 polling center, there will be 4 polling center. 2 polling center will be in the same place in 中华小县. So I call on the voters who used to vote in Sempulan Primary School to please check your name because you will be transferred to SK 中华 Kampung Air. Please beware of this. 不要到那天的时候 Kalang Kabut cannot find your place of undi, okay? I requested that for the next election, SPR use indictable ink. You know the ink where you chart on your fingers? So that each voter can only vote once. If SPR can use that system, where every voter that comes and collect their voting kertas voting, their fingernails will be charred with that, we will eliminate a lot of so-called repeating bounties. We make this proposal to SPR just now, and he said because this is a policy, so it's not up to him to comment. So in this respect, I would like to call on the SPR of national level to consider it. In the last election, 2008, the ink was already in, but the cabinet rejected it last minute, citing fraud reason. But today, I have not seen anybody being charged for that. I don't know what fraud reasons they have. Indonesia and India has the largest population of Muslims, and they're using this. And I think this is very effective to eliminate and to be fair to the voters. So I call on the national SPR to consider this one. We also call on the SPR to announce the result of undi post. Voter votes announcement should out. The result should be out 1 day before the polling day, so that the people know for each constituency what are the number of postal votes. Why can't they announce the result? Because they are voting 1 day earlier anyway. Pekerja, petugas, and the uniform people, they vote 1 day earlier. So they should announce it. They should announce the result 1 day before the polling day for the general public, the general voter voting on polling days. We requested that. Last election, 2008, many of our voters' names have been transferred away to different places without their knowledge. We ask that this will not be repeated again. Now the answer given by the Bengara was technical reason. Sometimes akan salah computer. So for this technical reason, if you want to amend it back, remedy it, I think it is the duty of the voter himself or themselves to quickly check now. You go to the net to check, or you go to any of the designated place of SPR to check your name, whether you are now voting where, and then you quickly isi borang and amend it and transfer back to your original voting place. Now if you don't do it now, come next election, you will still be deprived of the right to vote. Because suppose you are voting in Kota Kinabalu, suddenly you are being transferred to Pulau Kaya or Kalapakan in Tawau. How are you going to fly over there to vote? So if you know you experienced that last time, please, you experienced that for 3, 4 past election, you've been voting in KK and suddenly your name is in Kalabakan in 2008. Please check check with the SPR and amend it. Transfer it back by filling a form and they will let you transfer back. This is very important that they must do it. Also has to be very careful for the certain places like Kota Marutu, Pensiangan, Kota. They will gazette the voting place sometimes earlier, maybe to 11 o'clock, because of the small number of voters in certain areas. They will gazette it, and the tempat mengundi will close, the polling station will close at 11, open air and close at 11. So yes, so the respective calon in those areas will have to be very aware of. Okay, there's one last issue. The petugas and post-undi people, one of our agents were there. It was mentioned that the bag for these people to buang undi, they were wide open. Instead of like a petik undi, the regular kind, they were wide open. Now this is very luar biasa, because when you vote through a box, okay, not with a bag, not the post-undi bag open and anybody can go and vote and do this. Now this has been brought up and discussed, and the Bangara said he noted that and will pay attention on that one. Okay, basically that is the things that we discussed, and the meeting was very cordial, and we thank the Bangara and SPR for all their informations given to us. We shall be working closely with them. We believe that as much as we try to have a fair election, he has promised to extend all that he can, working closely with us.